All right, so let's talk about this. This is the D6 music camera, digital camera, claiming 64 megapixels, 3-inch OLED display. Basically, this goes for about $60. So this was a camera that I did get gifted to me, but I had it on my wish list because it intrigued me. So you can kind of look at a couple things around the box here, and some of these features. A 10 plus 16x zoom. I don't know what that actually means. If some of that is supposed to be like a physical zoom, I don't think so. So I don't know, but yeah, look at that metal. It's got glass. Touchscreen. That's true. A lot of these things they're saying on these parts here are all true. I guess I don't know if the 64 megapixels is true or not. If it is, it probably doesn't matter because the sensor is not that great. But yeah, it does things, and it also does stuff. The only one I would argue against is this 4K HDR. As far as I can tell, I can't get it to do that. So there's nothing on the bottom now. So in the box, before we get to the camera, in the box itself, you get this. I think this actually is a QR code for the manual. Yes, they also give that QR code in the camera as well. But you get a cable for USB-C to USB-A cable for charging and data. You've got the manual here, which is it's a folding thingy, isn't it? Or is this it's actually a book. It's been a while since I looked at this. Okay, this actually is a book, which is at least nice. You can learn how to use this a little bit here, so that's nice. They give you the little lanyard, so you can use that to, if you want to hang your camera or whatever, you have that. You also got a little screwdriver in here, because it came with it's got an extra screw even, which is actually nice. So you can get the little SD card slot on and off and get those out. And then there's one other piece in here, I believe, I can grab it, is a little adapter that goes from USB-A to USB-C, in case you only have USB-C slots on your computer. So that's all that's in the box. Look that out of the way. And then the camera itself, and this is, I just wanted you to see it quick before I said that, yeah, the reason I got this was really because, or I guess I wanted it, was because it really closely resembles something like an iPhone, or just any smartphone in general. But it's got the lenses on there and the back and stuff, and I really like the idea of trying to get something that basically was like a phone form factor, but like it was just a dedicated camera. This is a bit thicker though, so it's not really. I mean, this my phone has a case on it, so yeah, but it's definitely thicker by itself. But it is glass and metal. It's got a good heft to it. The build quality is actually pretty nice. So that's good. Though this is really highly reflective, and you can see all the smudges on it. And you can see here it's got these two lenses here. One is a fixed focus lens, one is an autofocus lens. That's a light for flash, and I assume this is some kind of sensor to pick things up. And this really small hole on here, I believe, is a microphone. I think that's what that hole is for. Then on the top here, you've got this button. If you push it slightly, it will focus for your autofocus mode. And this button is, or if you push all the way down, that's how you take a picture, of course. This button is power, and then when it's powered on, you can use this to lock it as well. Over on this side, we got the door here. This is where you would unscrew this and put in the SD card. They did give an SD card with it, which was nice. And also it's nice that once it's in there, you don't ever have to actually take it back out, because you can just use the cable to manage data and stuff. So you just need this for if you needed more storage or whatever. So there's that. Got a little tripod mount on the bottom there, which is pretty handy. We have this place here for the lanyard, or as the manual calls it, it's the hanging rope hole. I thought that was a pretty funny way to put that. You actually got a headphone jack in here, so you can plug in headphones and listen to stuff in here. Microphone will not work. I tried it, doesn't do that. So this is just for listening back to things on the camera. Though there's also a speaker here if you don't have those, so that's where all of your audio will come out of without headphones in. And you've got, of course, the USB-C slot for charging and data transfer. And then we get to the actual back, which, again, it's all touchscreen stuff. There's a little camera up here as well. There's your third lens for selfie stuff. So, I mean, you see this doesn't go straight to the edges or anything. You can see the limitation of the screen there when you get the shine on there. But, yeah, this is the, this is how this looks. So we'll turn it on here. And you're greeted with, you gotta hold that for a few seconds, and you're greeted with a lovely hello. And it looks like this. Okay, so you get time and date, and that's, that is correct. Or actually, is the time correct? Well, no, because it doesn't have daylight savings time from when I set it. So, that's off, but other than that, yeah. Let's see, maybe we should zoom in a little here. So, while we're doing this, and hopefully it works. So, first of all, if you go here, you have your camera. Like normal. If you hit this, you have all these little options and things. So the volume thing is just for beeps and stuff on the camera. You can set different things, like you do your zooms over here, and you got your different like colors and contrast and grid lines and stuff. So a bunch of settings there that you can mess around with. If you want to, like I said, you hold the button down up here and it'll do the little focusing thing. Oh, that volume's on, so if I hit this and do that, it probably won't make that noise, will it? Haha. So that does still do something. Then you've also got over here, if you want to switch, you can see right now the AF means we're on the autofocusing lens. If you hit that, now we're on the selfie thing. Hello. And then there's hit it again for the... This is like more zoomed in, but it's like the infinite, like it's fixed focus. So stuff that's further away gets in focus more. So that's kind of how that works. You also have the little button down here to switch to video mode, and then that switches. And then you have like slightly different options in here. If you have like the volume on for stuff, the beeps will still happen when you're pushing buttons and stuff in here. For video for some reason. And I don't remember what this does. Oh, that just hides all your stuff. Okay, that's nice. I never use that. Now, this button down here is how you take pictures as well, if you don't want to use the button up top. And I ended up using this quite a bit. We'll get to that. Other than this, you're like, well, how do I get back to the main menu? Well, the main way you go back to that is you go from the bottom up and swipe. So it's kind of like, you know, smartphone kind of ideas here. If you go over here... if you click it well enough, you go to your photos and you can go through your photos if you want to different pages of them. You can also go to your videos and see those here. I'm gonna go back. Then there's your settings. It's not like the most exciting stuff here, but yeah, language. Beauty level is a weird way to put it, but it's just like how good do you want it to look. I haven't done anything with that. Oops, and I'm going to go all the way back. So if you do that, touch calibration, date and time. If you actually swipe up from the middle of this one, though, there's more stuff, but it doesn't animate, so it's a little weird. You can change your wallpaper. I accidentally hit volume. I didn't want the volume all the way up, but okay, well, that's just where it is. I turned it down before and it did not save it. That's a common issue. If you do this, you should go back one. Oh, wait, no, that looked like it was lower, didn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just because the whole bar looked the same to me. Anyways, maybe it did save. Key sounds off. So, okay, so it did save the stuff. You swipe left to right and it goes back. Boot music, yeah, there's an annoying chime if you don't have that turned off. Okay, that was too far to the bottom there. I think there's one more page of these things. You can format the card. Change screen brightness, auto power off, screensavers. I was going to change the frequency. I set it to... default setting, no. Cancel. Damn it, I keep pushing the wrong one. Oh no, that saved, okay. Oops. Not the most intuitive thing to use all the time. We'll check out wallpaper while I'm on this page. Oh yeah, you can change the different wallpapers here. That's neat. So we can't really see them right here, but let's do mini pigs. Mini pigs. Let's do Night Moon 1 is now our background, so we'll see that in a minute. Is there anything else here? Yeah, and then you can see the instructions. So there's a QR code for that. How do we go back? It's not gonna, okay. God damn it. And that's it for that. If you need the photo things, you can change the resolution. I usually have it on the maximum, of course. And for video settings, we're on the photo settings, sorry. For the thing, yeah, I have that there. Did I push the wrong one? Go. Oh, I just didn't tap this. And then this, you can switch it to 4K, but it'll never do it. You'll say 4K, but all the videos I recorded are in 720p, no matter what setting I try to put it on. So that seems to just not work. If we go back to our main menu, now we're on that night moon. So you can also change this, I believe, by like hitting back here and being like, oh, you just cycle through all the different backgrounds, right? It's not a great way to change your background because you can do it by accident. I kind of like that too. That's not too bad. I think you can set an alarm on here somehow, like swipe down maybe. Nope, that's how you get to those. There was a way to do it. Oh, like this. You can set the time or the alarm or something, but why would you want an alarm on your phone? I'm sorry, on your phone. That's something you might want it on. On your camera, why would you want it? Then you've got this little thing over here, which is for playing music. So this is probably why it's a music camera, because it's you put MP3s on it and play that. So I just put this example one on here.
This song is neat. It makes me drool. This song is sweet. It's fucking cool.
And that'll just keep going forever if you let it. I will not. So you can put more songs on there, and I guess, and have like some songs to listen to. But again, I don't know why you'd want an MP3 player on your camera. I guess maybe that's just me. We have this thing over here, which is the audio recorder. You just record audio, and if you want to see the audio things you recorded, and it's there. You also have a couple extra things here as well. If you swipe this over, then you have a couple extra things. So one of these is a game. An incredibly difficult version of Flappy Bird with these terrible touch controls. I think I may have gotten through one of these once, and that's about as far as I got. That game will also chew the hell out of your battery, so you don't want to play that anyway, but you could. This has nothing that it can play. I assume that's a video player, but I can't play any videos out of it because I think they need to be AVI format. And I tried to put an MP4 on here and I didn't like it. And this last one is, I assume, some kind of ebook reader. I couldn't get it to do anything. Not that I have any ebooks to like put on there to try. I don't think you can just put text files on there to read them. I don't know. So I can't really use this. The manual doesn't really talk about what this is at all either, weirdly. So yeah, but I do think the screen looks pretty good though, honestly, for this and what you're seeing and everything. I mean, like, it's not amazing, but you know, as far as like just being able to see what you're looking at and stuff, I guess I had very low expectations, and it has met them decently well. Well, okay, well, that's not a great example of doing that, but just trust me. It looks all right. Okay, maybe not through the viewfinder of a camera looking at the screen, but with your eyes, it doesn't look too bad actually. And now it's the part where we talk about some other stuff. I always show you the pictures that I took. These are going to be the best of that I could scavenge from taking nearly 500 photos on this thing. So for the pictures, I am sorely disappointed. Basically, I thought, like, you know, from the way I was seeing stuff through the viewfinder and everything, because it's a good sized screen and everything, so I thought that for sure, like, yeah, these are going to look decent like some of my other cameras have, and almost every picture has come out soft and kind of blurry. Part of the problem is that that button you push to, like, the shutter button, it doesn't really want to actually take pictures most of the time. I have to push it really, really hard, which will jostle the camera if I could get it to even do it at all. And that, again, since it jostles the camera, you'll get a blurry picture because it moves as you're taking the picture, which you don't want. and that kind of defeats some of the purpose. So I almost always use a little like picture button on the screen itself. So it's nice that it at least had that, and it's quicker to just tap stuff on the screen to select things than it is to have manual controls taking up extra space, making the screen smaller. That stuff's all nice, but yeah, the pictures themselves are just not very good. I will say that at least one positive is that it doesn't feel like it struggled that much with like adapting to different lightings and things. Like sometimes the colors are weird, which you're going to get on cheap cameras like this. But I didn't feel like it was like insanely like noisy and like terrible looking for pictures that didn't have quite enough light. For the pictures that had a lot of light, it definitely did a bit better. But I think the main problem is that I had it on the autofocus setting most of the time because I figured, well, it'll automatically know where to look. It'll know what's going to look good. And that really wasn't the case. A lot of the times it ended up like, it seems like it ended up trying to focus on something that didn't exist in the picture, and so everything was just blurry. And I probably should have used the infinite, fixed focus, infinite kind of like focus whatever thing, that mode to take pictures of stuff outside. But even with stuff inside or like things that are close up, like sometimes it'll take a decent picture of them. It's hit or miss, mostly miss. Even a lot of those just aren't in focus anyways. I use the autofocus, and I usually use the one right away and then try autofocus and see if it'll work. And a lot of pictures that looked like they'd be good on the camera ended up like in the preview just don't look that good when I actually get them on the computer. They look worse than they did in the preview, which is bad. I think at least for the pictures, the size of them is correct, but it's just they don't look good. And changing the size or whatever of the images, changing the megapixels seemed to make almost no difference. It just was different numbers on the thing. They visually pretty much just look the same. So you might as well just leave it like that way. So I don't know. I mean, selfies were nothing to write home about either, but I guess that is good for when you're on the other side of the camera and you want to do that. Like the game thing, I don't know. Like that's kind of the other thing I'll say is like all the stuff. Oh yeah, the battery. I'll mention that quick too. The battery is, I think if you're real lucky, you might be able to squeeze an hour out of it if you had some settings turned down and whatever, maybe. But I feel like it's usually somewhere in the ballpark of half an hour to an hour of going out and taking pictures probably is all you're gonna get. If you remember to shut it off, if you leave it locked in your pocket, it'll be dead by the time you go to use it again as well. I noticed that is a thing, so definitely remember to shut it off or have the auto shut off timer turned on. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, I guess. But yeah, the battery can be shot in an hour or probably less, and it takes like 5 or 6 hours to charge it fully once it's dead. It takes a long time. It also gets very hot. There's also this clip right here. So here's a fun little thing. Plug this in to charge it. And it does this. And it gets pretty warm when it charges. But then when it gets to 100%, it just freezes. So it just stays on and just stays warm instead of like shutting off or anything. So that's fun. So yeah, that kind of shows this weird glitch thing for charging. It's not a great product, this camera. There's also the issue where essentially this has a lot of features, but it's sort of like a Swiss Army knife of shit. It doesn't really matter how many things it does if it sucks at all the things that it's doing, and how many people are like, you know what, I want to have a camera that's not a phone, but I still want to play games on it, I want to play music on it, I want to read ebooks on it, I want to play back videos on it. Is there much point? Is there a market for that? And if it does photos and videos, that at least makes some sense. Like, all it needs to do is pictures. But if it does video, that's fine. It's a camera. I can see where you'd want that. At the same time, though, and also, I'll extend that to if you already got video on there, having audio, without the video, that's fine. Because you already have, you do the same thing without the video component. You already got the stuff to do it. That's fine. But we should maybe check that out a bit, because headphones in here sound fine and whatever. But okay, so Weirdly, here's the video clips. I guess I'll show you the video tests. Where again, I'm saying 4K in these clips, but keep in mind that at the time I really thought it was going in 4K, but looking at the properties, they all just recorded in 720p. But it's the three different cameras I tested it, so I'll just throw those clips at you now. All right, here's the normal autofocus mode thing. Setting that I have for the camera, just testing out the video in 4K. And in highlight, it seems okay. I guess I don't know how the sounds or where exactly, again, the microphone is. There's a few holes on this thing that I assume are that. But, like, you go into some, like, darker light, whatever. It seems to change a bit wildly, I guess. This is kind of what you can expect. The video quality, I suppose. And audio quality. And I'm just going to go out here because it should be darker out here. And see how it kind of moves and compensates with that. And there's not really any light in here, so I don't know what the point of this was. But it's just the kind of thing that I do. So there's that. This is the same, kind of the same test, 4K and everything, but it's in the fixed focus thing. So it seems like stuff is further away. So it's just more zoomed in, and you can't change how it focuses, but it's got that fixed, like, focus. So as you get closer and further from things, they'll be more or less in focus. I feel like this is also a bit darker in general when I'm using this. I could be wrong about that, though. I guess you'll be able to tell how you feel about that. I got my lights over here. Then we're going to go into less light, see how that handles. And then go into no light, which I imagine handles like crap. But hey, it's just a test. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Alright, let's do the selfie test. Selfie cam and the things down there. Basically the same kind of thing. Just to see what it looks like on this end with 4K and everything. I already did a whole video with this, but I did it like 720p, so I don't know how well it's gonna pick up or change anything. There's that stuff up there again. But this is kind of what you can expect, I guess, from the inner camera here. Which from the preview, I will say the preview looks good, but I guess we'll see when I get it pulled out onto an actual nice screen and everything. See, it handles less light here. Pretty dark. I'm about to go into the nothing zone, where you probably can't see much of anything. Well, I still got this paint glow. So that seems to be surprisingly good there, but yeah, that's what we got. And here's the camera thing again. The mirror. Hey, it's you. Oh my god. You can see into forever. Okay, how do I stop that? And then that's, the video quality is kind of terrible. Again, I think it handles the lighting changes and stuff well. It doesn't get super noisy or terrible with that, or super choppy. Definitely performs better when you have way too much light in it still, like most cameras usually will. But that was surprisingly better and more detailed than I thought it would be. But the audio is bad, and the video is also, when the video is still, you can see stuff okay, but when it's moving around, things just, they wiggle all over the place, and it's hard to tell what's going on. You're not going to get any good fine details of stuff. So this is probably where you'd want it to sit on a tripod and just take a still video and have things moving in the video, but not the camera moving, and it might be okay depending on the low stakes thing you're trying to take a video of. But weirdly, like I say, the audio sounds terrible on videos because because the camera is operating and it's difficult on it. You can hear it working and stuff. There's a weird background noise, but when you do the audio recording, it sounds like this. Alright, so I'm testing out the voice recorder. The screen looks very laggy on this display, so I don't know how well it's picking this up. I also don't know where the microphone is, if it's on, like, the top of the thing, if that's what it's pulling from. or if it's pulling from the one on the front. I have no idea. Is it on the side? I don't know. So this is just kind of how this is. I'm just kind of holding it like a camera right now. I don't know which way you'd want to hold this to be a voice recorder, but this is what it sounds like. And weirdly, that sounds clearer. So I don't know if it's because it's not doing as much, it's just doing the audio, or if it's because, like, there's some extra layer of, like, noise suppression in there that happens when it's just the audio recorder. I don't know. But at least that's surprisingly better, I guess. But that's, that's not saying a lot. This is not a camera you're going to want to use for photos, videos, or probably even audio. Is not worth it. As again, you could just do like a voice memo thing on your phone, and it will be superior to like everything that this does basically. In the end, I think what we've kind of learned about this camera is that it's not good. As nice as the build quality is, and as nice as the touchscreen can be and everything, and the proof of concept is there. You could get something pretty cool out of this if you had, a better price point or better design, better, UI, everything. There's a lot of things that could be improved here, and it feels like a lot of what was done here went into, okay, let's make it a really good looking case, and then we'll just kind of slap the rest together with whatever is cheap and convenient. And we'll load features on there to make it seem like it's a better bargain. Music camera is a silly thing, too, because it doesn't play music particularly well. I mean, it's fine. You can plug headphones in and you'll listen to it. It's not like a nice, DAC or amp or anything or whatever. It's not like some amazing thing like that. It's just, listening to these files via headphones, which, depending on your headphones, could sound pretty good. It doesn't horribly destroy the audio quality through this, though the speaker's not great for playing stuff back. And the microphone in this thing is not great for trying to record a music video or something like that. So music camera is a weird way to market this thing. But then again, how do you market this thing? Because you would think that a cheap digital camera, like, let's face it, like the mid-range camera, digital camera is dead, okay? Smartphones have killed that, so you either got to get an expensive digital camera to take nice photos, or you got to get a cheap digital camera. And cheap digital cameras are going to mostly appeal to children. It's going to be something you get your kid, because it costs less than a phone, doesn't do any of the crazy stuff, and, okay, well, we'll let them have that, because who cares if that breaks. But you probably don't want to give your kid something made out of glass, because if they drop it, it could shatter, and that could be a problem. That could be dangerous, and it just probably makes this more likely to break in that sense. So, I don't know. I don't really get the, I don't get the appeal, honestly. I think that this thing just kind of sucks. And again, it doesn't even beat out my Aberg Best AB cam, or 128 or whatever the hell the number was on it. That thing, at least, it's a challenge. It has a worse screen, it has worse controls on it, it's hard to take good pictures on it. But when it takes good pictures, they're pretty good. Not amazing, but definitely punching above its weight class. And it's cheaper than this probably. You can get it for probably 40 or 50, or this is like 60. So I don't know. I mean, also with that, there's kind of the general fun that I have where this I had a pretty good idea what my picture was, which is good. It's nice to be able to see the lighting, the framing, that kind of stuff, the focus decently well on here, even though it doesn't translate to a good picture when it's on the, the computer when it's done. But, the more fun part is like, well, I don't know what I'm going to get, like a disposable camera. I have an idea of what my picture's going to be, but who knows until I actually go and look at it. And there's something really fun about that this just can't quite give you unless you're covering up the screen. And at that point, well, why are you doing it, And so this is probably the last, cheap digital camera I'm going to bother with, just because I feel like it's sort of run its course. I don't have a huge, I'm not going out taking pictures in all these exotic places. I'm going to and from work most of the time and taking pictures in my house. So if, the sky looks cool one day or the light hits something just right, I'll try to grab a picture, but I don't really take them a ton. So that's why it takes a while to do these videos, because I've had this for months, for probably 5 months or something. That's why most of my pictures are of snow. I got it around Christmas time, so this is probably the last digital camera I'm going to do, unless you guys have one you really want me to check out. I might consider that. Some interesting, weird, whatever, digital camera. I may give that a peek and see what I can, do with this, see what kind of pictures you get, because it's not the most scientific kind of video for this kind of thing. Somebody more talented than I could probably take some pretty cool pictures, do some interesting stuff with one of these, but your average user is not going to do that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to represent. So, anyways, hopefully you guys found this somewhat interesting, and I guess I'm kind of landing on the other thing is that the conclusion I've come to with this whole saga of looking at cheap digital cameras at this point, basically, is I think I should probably just get, just find a nice Sony CyberShot, one of those cameras, because they look like they'd be small enough and it'd be cool because it's a Sony camera. I like Sony cameras like I'm recording on right now. So that might be kind of deep, more my speed, and I could just, have that in my pocket, something small enough to throw in there and then take pictures of when I'm walking home or something, and then slip it back in there. It's not like a big deal. I'm not that worried about it if it busts or anything, but it at least will take, decent enough pictures where I'm not worried about, any picture that I take. Like, is this going to be any good, or is this going to be terrible? Something more reliable than this, more quality, and something that's kind of neat. So that's kind of where I'm landing with that. And what is your go-to photo camera of choice? That might be interesting to leave in the comments as well. Any suggestions, your camera, whatever else you want to say, go ahead and do that. I'm sorry this video is probably longer than I expected it to be, but I thought it would be more interesting than it is, and it's probably just like, oh wow, all those pictures suck. I won't buy this camera, and you probably gonna be like, why wasn't this video 2 minutes long? And that's all you did. Oh wait, one more thing. I totally forgot to even say a thing for this because I recorded some of my stuff out of sequence, as you could probably tell in some of the footage where I have much longer hair. But one of the things I captured here, if you're at the end, and here's your nice little bonus clip, okay? For those of you who really stuck it out with me and decided, I'm going to watch all of this slop. The one other feature I found out was quite a surprise. I didn't really expect this to be a thing, but enjoy this surprise feature that you probably also will never want to use. Alright, so I've just made a wonderfully awful discovery thumbing through the manual for things. For one of the things I found out is you can set an alarm on this thing if you want to for the camera. I don't know why you'd want to. You can see here, right now, the camera is my webcam, and it's not going to be the best quality to see that because you're looking at it from the side, and it's like looking at the screen of my screen and whatever. But I just wanted to see, it said in the manual you can use the camera as your webcam, and if I switch camera here, it is. You can see what this thing is seeing. So if you want this to be your camera, it can be. Which I don't think you want this to be your camera ever. I don't think anyone ever wants this as their camera. But you can do that, I guess. Hey guys, it's you. Oh my god, look at that. Hey, will this make the cool effect on there? Whoa. Okay, it does. I mean, there's that, but yeah, this also will do it. That stuff's cool, right? But yeah, I was blown away. I was like, I can't believe that they let you use this as the camera for here as a webcam. Which, hey, if you could focus on Marina there, can I make it focus? I cannot. But yeah, you don't want it. I just thought that just kind of blew my mind a bit. I didn't realize it would let you do it. They really want you to be able to do everything with this camera.